Good morning, everyone. Before we begin, I would like to thank Mr. Sandeep and the entire Denims and Jeans team for this platform. And honestly speaking, I spent so many years on Wonderblues shop floor and dealing with fabrics, missions, and chemicals. But this is the first time for me to handle this kind of panel. So if you feel that my first time strength or gap in transmission, you feel that I am doing denim development in a full focus, 100% focus with a little bit of trial and error, So, I know vision always looks very great on paper, but realistically, we always stuck with fabrics or washing in plants or shipments, often it happens that way. Today we are talking about India as not just destination for, sourcing destination. We are asking whether India can become, how it can become preferred destination. That's what our question. So to deep dive onto that, we have 30 minutes time. So we have scale of Himatsingka for that. We have innovation of Anubha, and we have sustainability leader of Aadi, and global brand lens of Octorite. So we'll just deep dive into it. First I will start with the first pillar one, vision, the where we are going. So to do that, first I'll ask Mr. Ghiase the first question. Ghiase, you had so much experience with global giants like FFI and then Cytex now and Brandix. According to you, what is the vision global brands have for India today? Is the world finally ready to see us as a high-value partner, or we will still the backup option for all these buyers?
Well, first you need to understand how brands think. Brands look at it as a geopolitics strategy to diversify, to dilute, and to take their risks as less as possible across. It's not from the manufacturing perspective, it's from pure geopolitics that comes in. So can India become one of those? In the current situation, if you look at it, possibly yes. Pakistan is funny, Bangladesh is crazy, we are probably stable. So we could say, yes, brands look at us now as a place that they could possibly manufacture with. We see that happening. We see that the brands are moving a lot of production into India. It's not because we became good, it's because the geopolitics changed. Tomorrow, maybe we do something with Pakistan, and the geopolitics changes then. Do we remain as a preferred position then? They say, no, let's go to Egypt.
Yeah.
Right? So Egypt became a place where a lot of manufacturing went. Vietnam is quite quiet. A lot of Chinese have come there and started manufacturing. India is one in that basket of eggs that can be around, that where brands who do not partner but use you as a manufacturer to make sure that their manufacture somehow reaches the market. Diversify risk, bring it to a point at which if one fails, something will succeed. Work with one supplier? Never. Work with as many suppliers as you can. Somehow kind of manage the production. Take it to a point in which you are de-risked to the maximum. So is India a preferred destination? In this current situation? Yes.
Yeah. Basically, you are saying because of geopolitical issues, we are preferred.
As on today.
Yeah,
if Trump keeps it on there, we probably will be in a better situation.
Yeah. So, but that way you are saying it's a backup option only, or geopolitical way, or
Every country is a backup option. No one is a preferred option. If it was a preferred option, there should have been a reason for you to be so niche that you do something that nobody else can do. Have we reached a point of saying that we are the only country in the world that can do what we are doing? No. We have our own problems. We don't have the scale. We don't have the economies of scale that China had. China has the political problems and the craziness that they exist as communists, which are there. But as brands, a brand does not look at you as a partner.
Yeah, that point will come back at the reality stage. I think it's a good point to talk
Just take the example of Brandix, 35 years in business, right? They have manufacturing predominantly in Sri Lanka, right? They realize Sri Lanka has its own problems. They set up a 1,000-acre plant in Visakhapatnam. They brought all the diversifications of China. They have the Chinese manufacturer sitting in the plant there. Okay. They have the fabrics getting milled there. So in 1,000 acres, they created their own country. They're manufacturing Bangladesh because their customer wants to manufacture in diverse regions. So we have Sri Lanka, we have Visakhapatnam, India, we have Bangladesh sitting there. So this one customer who treats them as a partner, Victoria's Secret to be precise, is manufacturing all three countries. That is diversification. So it's a backup of a backup of a backup.
So according to you, the brand's vision you always can change if you can set up like that way and you can bring Victoria's Secret there, in that.
That is 35 years of Brandix's experience that has come onto the table. That the brands are not aligned to the country, the brands are aligned to the position that makes it good for them. So you move with the customer or the customer moves to somebody else. So keeping a customer and holding a customer is understanding the customer to bring it to a point at which customer wants to diversify. He says Sri Lanka is a risk point. Let's move out of Sri Lanka. Where shall we go? India. India is expanding. We have people. We'll go into the villages. We'll do it. How do we get into India? We have logistic problems. We have problems with transportation. We are not near a port. We are not near this. We are not having people in place. So what? They take up 1,000 acres. They train 100 villages there. They bring all the people. They bring the infrastructure. They bring everything that is there. You walk into that infrastructure. You don't know whether you're in India or anywhere else. And that takes you to a different atmosphere. So they built their own country in India. They brought the best of Sri Lanka, they brought best of the technology, they brought the Chinese in to do the trims, right? So they did what is needed to keep the customer.
So we'll talk more again you're going more on reality than vision. I just wanted on more on vision. Okay, so the next question, Aditya ji, aapke liye, and again on vision point of view. In Mill's perspective, what is the vision for denim fabric in 2027? Are we moving toward pure technical performance, or is circularity the only thing buyers care about now?
You can't pick and choose between performance and character, because denim without character is any other textile. So denim needs to have character, denim needs to be comfortable, denim needs to be durable. Denim now also needs to be circular, and this circularity needs to be traceable. So we have to put all these elements together. It is no longer about just creating cheap fabric, which is not going to be durable. It is no longer about creating very, very highly performing fabrics, which does not have any character. So denim is a product which has to have all these elements rolled into one. And only those mills who will be able to put all these elements together will be able to create an everlasting denim setup for themselves. Because today you are looking at audiences who are perceiving the product very differently. At the end of the day, every denim buyer is buying it out of desire, not because of the attributes that are there on the label. So first and foremost, you can't take the character out of denim. Now you need to blend the character of denim along with performance, because it is no longer an option. We are living in difficult times in terms of climate change, in terms of variability, in terms of even costs. So, and we are looking at a very, very different audience now. The Gen Z and the Gen Alpha audience, they perceive buying very, very differently compared to a generation above them. These are people who have been brought up hearing the word ecological protection, hearing climate change from their birth. They understand how difficult it is to live in very, very either hot climates. So they need product which is comfortable. It has to have good growth. It has to move with their body. So all those parameters of denim or of fabric, whether it is comfort, whether it is softness, whether it is abrasion resistance, growth, recovery, all of them are no longer optional. Earlier, these were words that maybe a Levi's would talk about, a G-Star would talk about. Now today, it is important that it is there in each and every garment. You cannot disassociate with it. So the challenge now is to make sure that yes, you have to bring in performance as part of your product while giving it a character that it is still desirable.
Okay.
And plus you're talking to an audience who thinks about, who knows these words of overproduction, who knows vintage, who understands resale, who understands reuse. So how do you make a product ready for becoming vintage? How do you make a product that allows resale, that allows reuse, only if it can be durable? So in between, there was a time wherein durability went out of the dictionary of denim because it was becoming a product of fast fashion. It was becoming a choice for impulsive buys. One-time wear and throw away. Now this generation looks at things differently. So now pre-loved, pre-owned are good words. So you need to make sure that these words, that the product justifies its age. So it needs to age gradually. And the best part about denim is that yes, denim traditionally or originally was made to age gracefully, to be desirable even after aging. So this needs to be brought in.
Yeah.
Now we are coming to the aspects of circularity. So how do you create circularity without durability? So if you use recycled cotton, recycled polyester, recycled cellulose in any form, but at the end of the day, the fabric does not perform. Or it fails very early in life. So you're creating a new problem. So effectively, if a product cannot be used for a long period of time, it is no longer circular. That is the first principle. So durability has to be now built in again. You can't throw that away. And in order to make sure that yes, you have a durable product, okay, and a circular product, you need to allow the product to stand up for scrutiny. No one wants to be fooled with very, very generic statements. I think now rules and regulations globally are taking place wherein they will not allow people to just falsify their statements. Have 5% recycled content and claim it to be sustainable. Okay, this is over. That era is over. So now you need all these elements to be there together. You need a product to perform. And till the time we don't, I mean, all the mills who will do this, who will be able to now cater to good washes, will be able to cater to smaller runs, okay, will be able to cater to aging gracefully. They will succeed. Those mills will also succeed. Those brands will also succeed if they are true to the character of denim. And
so I summarize this like you are saying, the fabric you need to make with a good performance but with circularity without changing the characteristics of the original denim.
Absolutely.
This is what you have summarized. Thanks. So next we move to the pillar 2, readiness. Do we have the tools? That's where first question I'll just go to Mr. Gaurav Sharma ji. Gaurav ji, you often said that India have a great opportunity in denim. Depends on 3 things. One you said consistency, the other one is the speed, and the other one is cost discipline. At a time when global buyers are looking for reliable alternatives because of China plus one, how can Indian manufacturers move from just having good intent to actually building the operational scale needed to lead the world?
It's an interesting question, Pratap. I don't have a clear answer, but maybe you're looking for me is a kind of a framework. If we have the framework in place, especially for denim, which I always talk and listen from the partners, which are brands, that denim is not a category, it's an ecosystem. So if you have the things in place for that ecosystem, then I think we are in a perfect place, because in all boardroom discussions globally, across brands, across retailers, India is in the talks. Whether we are able to give the scale, as my colleague mentioned, or we are able to give the scope, is something which we have to decide in the next 12 months. And I'll put it open for the audience as well, that when they are looking for a vendor, I'm using the term vendor even for the country, what are the 4 or 5 things you need? You need predictability, you need transparency, you need that there should be low risk, and there should be quick decision making. So these things don't cost money. We are already there. We are, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Amir can correct me on numbers, we'll be around 25% of the global apparel, global denim fabric production. But are we there on the numbers for apparel also? So there's the opportunity.
Yeah.
And we are, I'm repeating for probably nth time, we are in the perfect window of opportunity at this time. We have signed the trade agreements with Europe. We have signed it with UK. We are duty free to Japan. We are now duty free to New Zealand. We are also duty free to Australia. We are duty free to UAE. And if my inputs are correct, we are talking to 38 countries for duty free access.
Okay.
So we have that opportunity. All we need is to align ourselves, work on the framework, give the confidence to the brand and the customer that we will deliver. And then there is a long association and there is a partnership which ensures that once we break the law of inertia, which is to start, we are able to keep things in momentum and able to grow. And for me, I come back to your question, yes, it's a perfect window. We have never been, ever been in a situation in the last 2 to 3 decades, no matter how you look at it, this is the perfect platform for us to take off.
Yeah, okay. So that means you need to create a lot of confidence to the buyers, saying that this is all we can able to do that.
They are already interested. They are interested to come to India. Look at the 2 neighboring countries which we have. Ask anybody.
Why I'm asking you this, interrupting, because on the readiness front, what is that we are giving, So yeah, they're interested, but we are saying, are we ready in that and what we need to do for that?
Yep. See, readiness is primarily a 6 months to 9 months challenge.
Okay.
Prior to that is the framework and alignment. What is the global requirement from us?
Okay.
Will we be dependable in 2026? Will we be predictable? Will we be credible? We will have a supply chain which is transparent.
Okay.
We'll be able to reduce the risk. My colleague mentioned beautifully, yes, the brands are asking for, can you give me a multi-country product?
Yeah. Okay.
Because all we have seen during COVID, during the tariff wars, we were kind of a place where the business moved in 2023.
Okay.
But we were not able to hold it. So that holding part, that binding part has to be done.
Yeah.
And I think we should be able to do it.
Yeah, it's a good point, yeah. So next question is to Parvinder ji. In terms of readiness again, if a major European brand walked into an Indian factory today asking for full traceability, could we provide the data, or are we still in compliance on paper stage?
Actually, we have both. So if we see the best of examples, yes, I would like to call that we have islands of excellence, but that वो जिसे वो समंदर बोलते हैं, that is missing. Second thing, that industries works on perception. Okay. India as a country is not a good storyteller across all industries.
Okay.
So that perception of India as a country is not that promising. Secondly, when it comes to a country level branding, India lacks that.
Country level?
Country level branding.
Okay.
So now, when it comes to government, now for the first time, I have been part of government's ESG task force for last 3 years. Now, government on its part, they have found sort of a branding for Indian textile and fashion industry, which is circularity. So, coming to your question, that India has already the first country which has over 97% of its post-industrial waste being recycled.
Okay.
No country has able to achieve that. India has the largest textile recycling capacity in the world. India has the best recycling rate in the world. This is where we stand as a country. When we see from the brand's perspective where brands are going, most of the leading brands, everyone would be aware that they have taken their sourcing targets in terms of recycled or regenerative sourcing, which are in many cases upward of 90%. Then again comes to Indian government part. Indian government is pushing to have a $450 billion of export
Okay.
by 2030. So when it comes to sustainability and circularity, they have in last budget, they have passed a scheme called TaxEco, which has 5 pillars of sustainability. One is National Fiber Scheme, second is TRH, Textile Recycling Hubs,
Okay.
how we can make them world class. Third is TRF, how as a country we manages our post-consumer waste. Fourth is water conservation, common ETPs, common ZLDs across clusters. And fifth is SMART,
Okay.
skilling, upskilling and efficiency improvement in our workers. For that they have outlaid 15,000 crore budget.
Okay.
Now when it comes to individual facilities, I'll give our company as example. We are India's first waste to garment. We have a full DPP, full LCA for each garment. Whatever garments we have displayed here, each and every garment has its DPP.
Okay.
Yes, individually, we have companies who have excelled in this. Yes, we have infrastructure. Where we lack in terms of collaborations.
Okay.
What happens when a brand, most of the brands speaks with their garment, tier 1 manufacturer. Tier 1 manufacturer, he is just doing a CMT. In our case, denim case, he is doing a laundry. So whatever sourcing or circularity integration has to be done, it has to be done at tier 2, tier 3 level. Neither the garment factory has access to them, neither the brand has access to them. So how Bangladesh is lagging behind in circularity? Why India has advanced? Because we had a more mature textile industry.
Okay.
And our recycling into it was way better integrated. Now we just has to close that loop from fabric to garment. And then that feedback loop starts to take place. So in terms of that readiness, yes, we are there. That's why most of the brands are looking into India as a preferred sourcing hub. Because from next year onwards, exporting textile waste from Europe, it is going to ban.
Okay.
And then there is a regulation called ESPR. So all brands importing into Europe, they have to have either GRS certified products, either region certified products. They cannot import generic products.
Okay.
And they have to be accountable for their textile waste. And India is one of the non-OECD countries who have signed for this WSR, waste shipment regulations. So India will be able to import that waste if we are somehow able to close that loop. Okay, that one company, they can import that textile waste, recycle it, integrate into fabrics, then into garments, and show that traceability and trust.
Okay.
As Aditya was mentioning.
So I summarize what you are telling is, so our scale in circularity at the fiber level is very high compared to the world, right? And we have an opportunity to further circularity based on agreements with Europe or something is still very prospective, and we are ready for that. But now the loop had to be fixed is that had to be converted into a garment in circularity export point of view. This is right what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah.
Earlier, traceability was very costly. Now it's almost negligible. Second thing, what we lack is collaboration among stakeholders and a good collaborative storytelling.
Yeah. Okay. And we are lacking in, you are saying, storytelling also. The brand, our manufacturers have to build that story, what they're selling. This is what we are saying.
We all know our perception globally.
Yeah. So we are not ready yet for that storytelling. It's have to improve all that. That's what I.
Physically, we are ready. See, storytelling. See, in China, everyone is fond of their excellence. If we ask, name a few companies, are we able to tell a few Chinese companies? No. The perception of the whole country. In India, we speak about individual companies, not overall country.
So I just ask you, the storytelling is what India is lacking. What you mean to say what India had to do, how it had to be promoted? Is normally I see most of the people are printing and bringing that labels, or maybe you might have seen that kind of arrangements in our stalls. Some of the people that put this what we are doing. Where we are lacking, how we are not able to take it to the world saying that we are circular. Only is it pure circularity where it is not happening any shows, or maybe I don't know what the way you feel.
First of all, it's a process. It evolves. It cannot be changed overnight. But if we want to act as a catalyst, government is doing its own thing for the first time. It hadn't done in past. Now, as a country, for example, Bangladesh, they have their tag, being cost effective, being efficient. China has their own tag. Turkey has their own tag. What tag India has? So this is the branding which I am speaking about.
Okay. So next question to Mr. Gaurav ji. Same again in readiness point of view. You are mentioning about cost discipline. Are you seeing Indian players are finally investing enough in the right technology? Or are we still being too reactive?
Again, I would like to say here that in the last 5 to 7 years, we have seen a lot of traction and a lot of movement. But that what I see is expansion, not growth.
Okay.
What we are seeing, we are adding factories. We are not becoming strategic partners. That adds to the storytelling part.
Oh, okay.
What we really stand for. I'll put it in front of the entire forum here. How many companies in India you know who have the chief technical officer? Somebody who understands the entire ecosystem and is able to align to the commercial needs of the brands.
Yeah.
In denim, there are broadly 4 categories. We have a $15 to $30 range, price range. We have a $30 to $70 price range. I'm talking about exports. You can convert similar to euros. Then we have a $70 to $120 range and 120 and above, which will be the luxury.
This you're talking selling price.
The selling price.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So who are the people who are experts in each of these categories technically? Because each requires a different ecosystem. Each requires a different framework. Each requires a different speed. Some categories are insensitive to price. So the cost discussion goes away. What is important there? Somebody who understands the technical part of it, somebody who understands the commercial part of it, and is able to take a quick decision.
Okay.
So that is what I define the technology. Otherwise, we have the technology. We are making the best denims in the world.
So I summarize this as the manufacturers always had to invest in technology based on the model of the business, what they decided, kind of which price points they want to serve or something like that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It changes from the raw material to the process, to the finishing, to the storytelling, to the communication message, to the team, to the speed. Everything comes and funnels towards that direction where you want to contribute.
I understand saying that instead of focusing in all price point buyers to that, you focus on which price points you can able to service. So that scale up on that.
Yes, and you'll be surprised that outside China, we are the only country in Asia who can give all 4.
Yeah.
On our left and on our right, the 2 countries do not carry the tag that can fit very well in luxury. That cannot fit very well in premium. The tagging, as Parvinder was mentioning, that tagging is that they are cost effective.
Okay.
And basic nature where we stand today is to cater to each of these 4 divisions. And that's a growth.
Yeah.
That's not expansion. That's growth. And you move from one tier to another tier. You are not adding factories, but you are becoming a strategic partner. You are ahead of the curve. You are in discussion with the brand. What are they planning a year from now? So you don't run for fabrics and trims and put all the bells and whistles together. You work with them, develop a product which is going to work in the coming year. So you become predictable. They are dependent on you, and then the business stays.
Yeah, in cost also, it will automatically comes down based on that. Yeah, thanks. So next, we'll go for pillar 3, reality, the what is stopping us, basically. To first question to Aditya ji. We have cotton right here, we have spinning, everything, mills. As he said, we are already, scale of mills is very high, 25% of our global capacity of denim is here. Yet another nations, often you see Bangladesh, Vietnam, they are exporting cheaper than India and faster than India. Is our vertical integration an actual advantage for India, or we are struggling with some cost, like, maybe power or logistics or whatever it is? What is stopping us that way?
Well, having cotton at our doorstep is not an edge. What is stopping us? We are a highly secretive country. we somehow hate the word collaboration. Like what Parvinder was saying. So everyone wants to maintain secrets. Everyone wants to maintain secrecy of their supply chain, secrecy of their production processes, without realizing that, yes, till the time you don't collaborate, every country in the world which needs cotton is being able to get that cotton from India and do the production, as you rightly said, do it faster, do it better. Because somewhere or the other, we are not connecting the dots internally.
Okay.
Now, if we talk about power cost, steam cost, logistics, to be honest, all these are a thing of the past. 90% of the textile industry in the country has now moved to renewable energy, thanks to policies which have changed. So, you can't say that on the power side, you are struggling against any other country. On steam costs, there's a gradual realization between all the entire textile ecosystem that sooner or later you'll have to phase out of coal. And everyone is making some kind of a step, either moving towards agro waste or as the first step. And then there's a lot of talk about how to electrify or use clean hydrogen in terms of a cleaner fuel. So that loop is also happening. And if you look at steam as a cost in terms of a total landed delivered garment, it would be less than 1% or 2% or 3% of the total cost. So how does it even become relevant, whether steam cost is high or low?
Yeah.
Transportation, I really doubt that transportation is a problem in the country anymore. I think with all the expressways, highways and everything, largely majority of travel distances north to south, east to west in the country have dropped down from multiple days to 24 hours to 48 hours. So it's no longer that kind of a story wherein, let's say, a truck moving from Gujarat going to Bangladesh will take 5 days within the country, another 5 days at the port, and put together it will take 15 days before the goods reach the vendor in Bangladesh. That is also no longer the case. Shipping, India's ports were notorious at one point of time. Latest data, I think I read an article last week, India's downtime or turnaround time is the fastest in the world now, at less than 17 hours average. Now, even I was very skeptical of that number, that how has this happened in the country, wherein port cutoffs used to be at least 36 hours or 48 hours or sometimes even a week before so these are no longer the issues. The issues is not having the ability to collaborate, not being able to create one framework under which you are working, a spinner is working with a fabric mill is working with the garment manufacturer, and the garment manufacturer is working with the laundry, or then the laundry, and put together this entire system is working together with the end customer. So till the time we don't have these collaborations in place, a proper framework in place, wherein we can eliminate the wastage that happens in decision making in this entire process, we cannot become fast. And if we can't become fast, we will, as Ghiase was saying earlier, we will always stay the backup option. Although he did mention that everyone is a backup option, but India will be a large backup option. Because yes, it has capacity, but it does not have the capacity to deliver on time or deliver in speed. So that is something that we need to break off.
So in that, follow up for that, if for the point of solution, mills is already have spinning everything in-house, why is it that they can integrate towards the garmenting and this use it can reduce all that, this kind of collaboration you don't need from outside. So today mills have big, like Arvind have their own factory, like Raymond. I didn't see with a lot of Indian mills are not doing it. Why it is not happening? Why the mills are feeling that I don't want to go into garmenting like Bangladesh, Pakistan, all vertically integrated?
No.
Why Indian companies are not interested to do that? What is stopping them to taking that decision say that solution? Yeah.
No. Globally, apparel industry, I don't have a single company which is vertically integrated and successful.
Okay.
Globally. You take Pakistan, Bangladesh, China, everybody works on a specialization.
Okay.
So in the garment industry, there are so many, it's an ecosystem.
Okay.
You can't have a washing guy also managing the spinning part, right? So a person who is good in spinning will manage it, bring in the economies of scale, bring in the efficiencies, get an expertise, and then move on to the same direction. Cannot change channels. And I don't have an example. If you have, please let me know. If you look at the top billion-dollar companies in the garment apparel industry, you will have them, most of them will have 10%, 20% of the fabric coming from in-house. Otherwise, it is all outsourced. Speed doesn't match, cost doesn't match, variety doesn't match, customer need doesn't match, handwriting doesn't match. So it's a misnomer to say that we need to be, as a country, yes, we are. We are probably 3 only vertical countries in Asia. China, Pakistan, us.
Okay.
Bangladesh, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Myanmar, Thailand, they are all converting countries.
Okay.
So we should not be putting them in the same platform for any kind of a discussion.
Okay.
And I don't have an example. If anybody in the audience also has, I will be happy to know.
It's a good answer. Yeah.
What Gaurav is saying is right. The other perception which has to change is Indian companies or Indian the apparel ecosystem has largely been reliant on slow and large bulk seasonal buys. We consider ourselves to be very, very good at that. But now those things are going to change significantly. If we hear about how, I think there was recently a claim that Inditex has reduced its unsold inventory level to less than 1%. Now traditionally the entire global apparel ecosystem, because there's so much of noise in terms of overproduction, which means that we at least have 15 to 20% conservatively of things which are bought and never sold. Okay. Now imagine if that drops down to 1%, because if one international retailer has been able to do it, that know-how is going to gradually percolate down the entire ecosystem. Now if that 20% volume drops, how does the Indian ecosystem rely on this? I mean, the big orders, the big seasonal buys, continuous production, that will become a thing of the past. So how do you now manage in a scenario wherein you need to react very fast? Either you collaborate, either you become very good at on handling small orders, faster migration, faster replenishment. All of that has to become better.
Yeah, and we have short of time, otherwise I might have gone a little bit more on collaboration.
Yes.
I'm really interested in know that, how we can do that, implement, that's good for country basically to export. The collaboration is very important. Already we are almost, I think, we are overshot. So next question I'll go to Parvinder ji. Parvinder ji, is reality that we have become preferred globally, or are we just more comfortable selling to our own massive domestic market where ESG rules are less painful? Yeah, just for the point of view, if a garmenter wanted to say, or if I wanted to invest on ESG point of view, so much cost or maintaining documentation, so better domestic market doesn't ask, or the brands which are asking, they're asking little liberal in all that. They prefer to do that, they're more comfortable with that.
See, we as a country has the largest penetration of MSMEs. Okay, we are not. हम वो हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, हम पढ़े हुए नहीं, हम कड़े हुए हैं. Means ठीक है. We are not educated. We have learned through our hardship and our evolution. So in that case, problem becomes whatever you have learned through your exposure. That is your strength, and after some time that becomes a burden as well. Okay, you don't want to leave that. So this is one case, but we cannot generalize it. Yes, India is probably, to my opinion, is the most balanced country when it comes to its own consumption and when it comes to its own manufacturing or exporting capability. So when we speak about these two things, we have to see them from a very different lens. Okay. Yes, globally we have become a preferred future-centric destination, not at current levels. Why? Because most of the brands now, they have regulatory targets to meet their scope 3 traceability, footprint and all. On the other end, the industry is moving in a way that the forward-thinking brands will, in a way, some sort of gets incentivized, and the brands who doesn't go through, they will be sort of penalized. In terms of regulatory things, in next 2 to 3 years, carbon credits will be a reality. In India also, BIS has starting to work on it. So maybe in 1 or 2 years, India will have also its carbon credits. So then the brands who have moved on to this, they will get incentivized. In all of the FTAs, whether we have done it with EU or UK, or every FTA has this green claim or ESPR linked in. Okay, you cannot outrightly export generic virgin products or virgin synthetic products into Europe using the benefits of those FTAs. So this is the part that where brands and the manufacturers will get incentivized. On the other end, someone will left out. Problem is now today, everyone, sustainability, circularity has become such a word, no one wants to do that. This is not my focus. My focus is in cost. My focus is on fast production. Everyone wants to have the pie of this famous cake. And you don't want to invest in, you don't want to get into the product. Because at the end of the day, sustainability and everything will be done on the product level. Right now, we are doing sustainability at packaging level, at marketing level, at social media campaigns level, at product part. Okay, it is very minimal. Second thing, we have to find ways to make it cost neutral. Because we have to understand this, our industry is a very cost sensitive industry. Okay, we cannot say that this thing is sustainable and I need 20% premium for this. You can sell, as Gaurav was mentioning, that we have categories. So you can sell in some categories, but you cannot scale. Now when you come to Indian consumption pattern, our industry has unfortunately been driven by these Googles and Metas of the world. Now, a fashion brand in India, okay, his 50-60% of revenue goes where? To logistics, shipping, warehousing, and marketing. Okay, that puts pressure where? That puts pressure on the product. Because they consider it as a fixed cost. No one is negotiating with Google ads, Meta ads. No one is negotiating with courier companies. No one is negotiating with warehousing companies. Where negotiation part is left? On the product part. So you will only negotiate on the product part. That shows on our products. So if you go to retailers or you go to these new brands, so-called unicorns, what's the difference between a product? Okay, once you are giving discounts, that's fine. Once you are giving better logistics, one day, sooner or later, it will get onto the plateau. Then what will you do? So ultimately, you have come to a product differentiator.
So I just understand like that. So your brand should stop spending too much on the other things and give little bit cost to the product. Circularity may be the fast reality.
This responsibility goes to the product people. They have to differentiate between a jeans and a jeans. Okay, then consumer awareness slowly it will build. Then consumer will know. Yes. Yesterday we had a panel, and in audience I was speaking that okay, if I have to buy this pant from a legacy brand, it's 5,000 rupees. If I'm buying this same pant from a new age brand, I'm getting it at 1,200. No one says this when you go to eat something. No one says this when you go to a Mercedes showroom and you tell, oh, I have saved, I have bought a Alto.
So basically you need to be branding
So consumer doesn't know.
Everybody.
Okay.
2 years from today, things are going to be different. The youngsters are going to say which is a sustainable product, even if it costs extra, I'm ready to pay for it. As on today, price is the king. 2 years down the line, sustainability will be the king, whether it is the Indian market or the global market.
Okay.
Second important part, we are signing free trade agreements with countries where this is very important. This is the key. They are the guys who are fighting on greenwashing. They have regulations. So if we want to do business with them, so whether we look towards exports, whether look towards domestic, this is going to be a key component. And there are tools available which help you plug and play and go to the next level, provided the intent is there.
I have a little bit follow-up questions on this also, but I don't want to take, we are already so much short. Sandeep will remove from that. I asked to us. Ghiase, for last question for you. Final reality check. What is the one thing India is absolutely ready for today, and the one thing where we are all still failing the test?
It's actually a simple one. India is ready for change. India has failed the test of change. In both ways, we are ready for it. We need and we understand that we need to change. We see what we lack on. But are we doing it? We are not doing it. There are a lot of places where we take it as a point that we need to change and we need to do something. But how do we do it? Okay. Take the point of traceability. We have the technology in place. We have, and you'll see it actually, you'll see it within this fair which we have put it, where one of our customers, Blueback, is actually an open company, showing their live data on a screen, capturing everything that is happening in their factory in real time. Okay. Now, if we have this technology within India, why are we taking that step? Why are we not taking the step of adapting and adopting to it? So we know we need to change. We see what we need to change. We are grappling with the fact how to do this change, and this change, if not done soon, again brings us up into a backup option. We have everything that we need. All we need to do is put it together and work it together. We have the mills, we have the manufacturing, we have the acumen, we have the attitude. We lack some people and knowledge. We can get that trained in place. We can eliminate that to a great extent and make it people agnostic. We as Indians are throwing people at a problem. We are not looking at solutions and systems as a solution to the problem. We have automation. We have everything that is there available to us. All we need to know is have the right attitude to put everything together to be able to assimilate and say, we have changed.
No. Yeah. The buyer needs that to become preferred destination.
We need to have an USP. What is different that we have? We have everything, but we cannot say that singularly we have the USP that can make us succeed and be the only destination of success.
So according to you, everybody knows we need to change, but everybody not putting effort to change. That's what
exactly.
they can say that. Yeah. So now we are open to audience. Any questions if you want to ask panel?
Thank you everyone. A lot of insight. We are from fiber company, Grasim Industries. We used to have this same dialogue in many of the forums that I get a lot of input from Aditya regarding fiber cost doesn't have much of play. Gaurav was talking about India is more vertical than other countries. We have age, and Parvinder talk about cost sustainability. My question is very simple. When you compare Chinese vis-a-vis us, I look at the capability between us and China. Capability, I don't put it in a single word. It includes scale, technology, size, quality consistency, cost of operations, even lead time. Everything put in one bucket. The capability where we miss is not very visible. Everybody says they're good, but at the end of the day, we used to meet ministries for not doing well in the export performance. So they keep every early chain trying to blame each other. Tomorrow cost बढ़ गया, fiber cost, And that is not the way. What Parvinder says, there are a lot of other intangible costs need to be streamlined. You write a very valid point of what the USP, which still you are able to find answer. In a capability set, what is missing? Are we able to really get an alignment in that? For everyone, because the upper ecosystem has a lot of issues, the gap vis-a-vis China.
I'll take this question. What we lack compared to the Chinese, and being specific to the Chinese, I mean, they say bye bye, and there is a lot of acronyms that go about it. And the point that was made in the panel was we lack the transparency and the collaboration that exists that the Chinese are able to put together. You walk into a Chinese factory, they will never say no to you. They find a way to be able to manufacture in a price point, in economies of scale, no matter what you throw to them, right? They will go to their neighbor, they will go to their brother, they will go to a cousin, they will go to another factory, they will go to another village, they will do anything and get you the product in time, in the scale that you need it. Will we do this? We will never go to our neighbor. Any other manufacturer is there. We will fail at every stage we take it, but we'll take the order. Right? The fundamental is that we want the business, but we don't know how to do the business because we refuse to take the fact that we can collaborate. It is not that we need to bring our country to a point at which I can trust you and you can trust me to keep the customer. Your customer is your customer, my customer is my customer, but when I need you, you'll help me, and when you need me, I'll help you. That is what we lack. And that's what the Chinese do really well.
It's a more of an outside perspective for us also. Culturally, we are not open to outside perspective, we are more of inside out actually. And that continues as a culture, then very challenging for time to come. Like Aditya mentioned, no advantage being cotton country. It's very surprised to me also.
I mean, you just take an example of any street on the road that you see. If one guy sets up a gold shop, you'll see a whole line of gold shops out there. Let me capture his customer. Let me take his customer. You set up a manufacturing and you succeed with a customer. I'm sure I'm going to go and approach the customer and pull him from you. Why are we cannibalizing ourselves? The world is enough. Let's cannibalize the world. That's what we are looking at. That's our USP.
I think he answered good, right? Better. I think it's
Just to add to that,
yeah.
I think what you are asking, which is missing, we are not visible to the world. We don't have an Alibaba kind of a system for India. We have, whether it is for government or for any of the industries which we produce, we don't have the visibility. I have an inquiry from a UK customer who is looking for motorbike denim. I don't know who to find it with. I, as an Indian, can't find that kind of a product. So imagine when they are looking to a country which is now free trade, we don't know, they don't know, how do you do business? Whereas in case of China, when you go into you don't need to travel even, you'll get the product with you. So ease of doing business is what we need to understand from them. And they have mastered it in the last 2 decades. We are not able to do it, and we understand the concept, then we find the tools to ensure that we do it. Software-wise, we are the best in the world. But do we have a tool to reach out to the world which says that here we are, these are the options which we have, yes, no go, very clear. So to answer that question, I think the visibility part for the rest of the world and bringing to the next level. We are always in the comparison mode. We are never in the complementary mode, what they can't do. The cost of labor out there is 4 times of us. They are not sustainable in our space. Not now, not in next 5 years. So they will be limiting to a certain degree of business. Where is the rest of the business going to go? So when we start looking at this, we find tools to ensure that we get that business. The population, world population is not going to go down. The demand is not going to go down. So where is the business going in? And mind you, important brands are signing off China. PVH signed off China, saying that I am not clear on the transparency of cotton. So they moved out. But they did not come to India. They moved their sourcing to Bangladesh. They moved it to Vietnam. So my point again is that we need to be more visible. We need to be more tangible. We need to be more accessible. And we should be very clear in what we can do and what we cannot do.
So we'll close it? Yeah. You.
Yeah, I will take over, followed by your closure. Is there a question? Okay, we'll take the last one.
So very good discussion. We talked about collaboration among the companies, but I will take example of a vertical integrated companies where they are working from fiber to spinning to fabric making and garmenting. I seen in India the collaboration within the company is also missing, like the spinning unit treated as a different profit center, spinning different, fabric different, and garmenting different. So when we put together, they had their margins at every stage. And they're not seeing to take an order as a target cost of the buyer. They're not working on meeting that cost which buyer requires. But they are building up their margins at every stage. And ultimately they're losing the edge of getting a vertical. I think first step is when a vertical integrated companies should look into the bringing the business, they look that we have to crack the business in totality as a package when we are offering to the buyer, rather than them building that. So I think that is missed. And second thing, the buyer, why they prefer vertical, they assume that they will give a quality by default, delivery by default, and cost. But I also seen in some vertical companies, when we are running own orders and some other orders, company people give priority to the other orders rather than their orders. In meeting their deliveries, they assume that ये तो अपना ही है, कोई बात नहीं, पहले इसको निकाल लो, इसकी फायर फाइटिंग है, हम अपना बाद में कर लेंगे. तो ये collaboration with the company is very important. Second thing on technology. Yes, we need a technology, but it is very expensive in India. We are outsourcing from China, again making software which is not reachable to a MSME company. Yes, they want to invest, but we as a collaboration has to give at a reasonable price and with the goal that yes, we have to grow as a together. This is my input. Thank you.
Yeah.
दोनों चीज़ है. We'll answer it from
not a question, maybe.
You already told, like, panel.
इसमें yeah. I mean, first of all, what I see the biggest problem in India or the Indian textile industry, what I see is the disrespect for the world margin. I mean, we are business companies. Whether we operate in 4 different profit center equations or we work, the problem is we try to attract the wrong customers. And then we get scared of the word margin. Our margins are lurking in the wastes that we have in our entire operating system. If we kill that waste, the margins are there and the margins can be protected, the margins can be respected. The problem is our customers don't know what value are we adding, and we don't present that as an option. When we talk about vertical, we only talk about, it's assumed that yes, because you're vertical, you'll be cheaper. And automatically you start saying no to, your buyers assume that yes, you will get it cheaper. They drive your prices down, and then you start fighting internally, as you said, between the various profit centers as to how do we do it. The issue is not that. Beyond price, there's a lot that a vertical setup can offer. As long as they keep the wastes in their entire system in check, then there is no reason why your margins will ever come under question. So that is one thing. In terms of, so this is where people or vertical operations need to focus upon. Internal wastage, stepwise wastage, that needs to be eliminated, period. You don't have that option of loading up your inefficiencies onto your cost and then assume that your margins are lost. And secondly, what are you bringing in terms of value? So if you're vertical, you should be fast, you should be able to deliver on time, you should never get late. That is a given. That is a trust that your buyer needs to have with you. Once a buyer has a trust that yes, your deliveries are going to be in time, they will value you for your end delivered product and your service. And your margins are never going to get questioned. That is my perspective with respect to this.
I think it's an assumption when you say the brands want vertical.
Yeah.
It's an assumption for India. It's not a real thing. The next two countries, number 2, number 3, Bangladesh, Vietnam, 80% of them are not vertical. So the fabric comes from some country. It could be India, it could be Pakistan, it could be China. So the countries are surviving not being vertical. What are we talking about? Companies. So the concept which we have in India is not on cost, it is on predictability. That they have these things under one roof, they will be more predictable and there will be more credibility in whatever timelines they are sharing. Because they are not relying on a third partner. Whereas our on-time record with respect to these countries is dismal, right? So if you feel that the vertical is a strength and it is working to your disadvantage, I think it is better to decouple and move on the success model which other countries have done in the recent past and been successful.
That's good. I think we'll...
with respect to technology, and let me put it this way. We as manufacturers, if you look at it overall, have stayed away and shied away from capital investments, not understanding the fact that there is a difference between CapEx and OpEx. If you do your capital investments in technology, in systems, in processes, in machinery, your OpEx will come down. You will be operating at a different level, you will be bleeding lesser. If you prefer to bleed more and put a plaster before of not investing, you're going to be bleeding from every different direction. Technology does come at a cost, but it definitely saves a lot in the future. And that's the important part that we as Indians can understand, that we have the technology, we are scared of investing in it because it's an investment and it's a capital expenditure and we need to pay money to the banks for it. But do realize the fact that if you do this investment at the right time, at a right scale, scaling becomes very easy for you because you have the infrastructure and your operational expenses are very different than onwards. Thank you.
Thanks. So we'll just wrap up. Sorry for the, keeping you for so long. So, yeah, our vision is very bold to become world preferred destination. So, however, as Gaurav pointed out, intent is not scale, but our readiness depends on mastering the basics, consistency, speed and cost, and backing them up with data transparency, what Mr. Parvinder was saying, and branding up for the same thing. And the reality is that we have a footprint. With already we are exporting and all. So, but we need sharpen our operational discipline, and that truly become a preferred choice for that. As Ghiase is mentioned, so you need to have right investments so the scale is possible. So we need to give that, and we need to give a buyer a little bit more confident why they have to come to here to become preferred destination. Thank you. Anyway, all panel, it's a good discussion.